everyone, this is Alpha Somani, and today we are on chapter number 8, The Forbidden Box. So, we have already completed the vocabulary part of the chapter, and we have also completed a section of the chapter. So, what is going on in this chapter is that there is a Greek god whose name is Zeus, okay, and he is powerful of all, and he is unhappy with his two brothers, Epimetheus and Prometheus, and Zeus wants to punish his two brothers, Epimetheus and Prometheus. Okay, so to punish these two brothers, what Zeus decides to do? He decides that he makes a very beautiful woman out of clay and he gifts that girl. He makes a very charming, very cunning. Okay, so he makes this girl, very beautiful girl named Pandora, and he gives this girl as a gift to uh, Epimetheus. Okay, so Epimetheus is very much attracted by the girl. Epimetheus is very much attracted by Pandora, and he decides to marry this girl. Okay, and Prometheus, the other brother, he says he talks to Epimetheus not to marry this girl and not to accept the girl as a gift because he suspected, he had this doubt that this girl might be a trick which Zeus might be playing. So, what was the trick? The trick was that Zeus had gifted a box, a very beautifully carved box, to Epimetheus and Pandora as a wedding gift. They both get married, Epimetheus and Pandora, and they are given a very beautiful box, very beautifully carved box as a wedding gift by Zeus. So he is given this wedding gift by Zeus. He's given this wedding gift, which is a very beautifully carved box, and it has a very big lock on it. And the key is also given to whom? The key is also given to Pandora, and she is asked to never to open that box. Now just imagine that you have a very beautiful box which is given to you as a gift. So when something is given to you as a gift, what will you think? That there might be presents inside it, there might be gifts inside it, there might be very beautiful clothes, there might be jewelry. Okay. So, and you are not told to open that box. So Pandora gets curious and curious over a period of time about this beautiful box, and she wants to know what is inside the box. So the key is always in the room. The key is kept on the shelf. And one day when Prometheus is not at home, one day when Epimetheus is not at home, Pandora decides to just take a peek into the बॉक्स वो डिसाइड करती है कि जस्ट थोड़ा सा मैं देख लूंगी बॉक्स के अंदर क्या है okay so now let's see what happens when Pandora decides to take a peek into the box. Okay, so now what happens, this girl Zeus had decided that when Pandora will open the box, on whenever which day Pandora will open that box, that day he will punish his brothers. Okay, that was the trick. So what was the trick behind this box? That whenever on whichever day Pandora opens this box, on that day he had decided, on that day Zeus had decided to punish his two brothers. Okay. So now Pandora takes the key from the shelf and she opens the box. What happens now when the box is opened? And Pandora was not told to open the box. So now let's see what happens when Pandora opens the box. She thought that there must be very precious gifts, there must be very precious jewelry, there must be very precious clothes inside the box, but that was not. But that was not to be. Zeus had packed the box with all the problems of the world. So, what was inside the box? There were no precious gifts or jewelry or clothes inside the box, but the box was filled with all the problems of the world. So, before this chapter, what happens? All the people in the world they are living happily, but there were no problems in the world. There was no death. There was all happiness. There was no sadness. There was no pain before this. But as soon as this box is opened, all the problems of the world, डेथ, सैडनेस, पेन, एवरीथिंग, पॉवर्टी, सब कुछ, जो दुनिया की सारी भी जितनी मुसीबतें हैं, सारी की सारी उस बॉक्स से निकली. Okay, they were in the shape of ugly creatures that flew out of the box and bit and stung Pandora. So ये जो सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उसमें से कैसे निकली, बहुत सारे क्रिएचर्स के रूप में निकली, बहुत उड़ने वाले जानवरों के रूप में निकली, बहुत अगली दिखने वाले, बहुत गंदे दिखने वाले क्रिएचर्स जानवरों के रूप में निकली. ऐसे जैसे पेंडोरा ने ये बॉक्स खोला और बहुत सारे इसमें से क्रिएचर्स निकले, बहुत सारे इसके अंदर से प्रॉब्लम्स निकली, ऐसे बर्ड्स के शेप में, ऐसे अगली क्रिएचर्स के शेप में. And what did they do? What did these problems do? What did these creatures do? They stung and bit Pandora. उन्होंने पेंडोरा को बाइट किया, उसको डंक मारा. ओके, इन सारी प्रॉब्लम्स ने. Out flew death and sadness, pain, and every kind of problem that people on earth have today. So what came out of this box? All the problems of the world, all the problems which we have today, जो आज हमारे पास सारी problems हैं, वो सारी इसके अंदर से निकली, इस box के अंदर से निकली. What kind of problems came out of the box? Problems like sadness, pain, death, problems like these, they came out of this box. Pandora let the lid of box fall and tried to run away as the evil little creatures flew all around her. So जैसे उसने देखा कि इसके अंदर तो कोई गिफ्ट्स नहीं है, इसके अंदर तो ये creatures निकल रहे हैं, तो when she got afraid and she threw the box away. उसने box को नीचे गिरा दिया and she tried to run away from these creatures. And Pandora ने इनसे भागने की कोशिश की. And all the creatures were flying around her. फिर भी सारी creatures जो थे, सारी problems जो थी, वो पेंडोरा के around उड़ रही थी. Then she heard a tiny voice from the box. Then, when all the problems were flying around Pandora in the form of creatures, all the creatures were flying around Pandora, a voice came out from the box. A very tiny voice came out of the box. छोटी सी आवाज आई box के अंदर से. Let me out, please. मुझे बाहर निकालो. The voice was soft and gentle. ये voice जो थी, जो आवाज थी, वो बहुत धीरे सी थी, बहुत सॉफ्ट थी आवाज थी. But Pandora looked fearfully at it. But Pandora was already afraid, क्योंकि वो सोच रही थी अंदर कुछ गिफ्ट्स होंगे, गहने होंगे. But the problems came out of it unexpectedly, right? उसने सोचा भी नहीं था कि इसके अंदर ऐसी कुछ चीज होगी. So वो ऑलरेडी डर गई थी, अब उसको डर लग रहा था कि अंदर और कुछ प्रॉब्लम भी हो सकती है. So she was already afraid. Was it another trick? उसको लगा और कोई ट्रिक ना हो, वो जो मुझसे बात तो एकदम सॉफ्टली कर रही है, पर हो सकता है कोई ट्रिक हो. Once again the voice said softly, let me out. So again the voice in the box that said, let me out, मुझे बाहर निकालो. I am Hope. So what was this what was this creature which was speaking softly inside the box? It was Hope. वो क्या थी? उम्मीद थी. जब सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आपकी बाहर आ गई, सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आपके अराउंड उड़ने लगी, पेंडोरा के अराउंड, अंदर एक छोटी सी आवाज आई कि मैं होप हूँ, मैं उम्मीद हूँ. I shall bring you happiness when all the other evils trouble you. मैं आपको खुशी दूंगी, वो उम्मीद ने कहा. Who is I here? Hope is I. Hope said that I shall bring you happiness when all the other evils trouble you. I will give you happiness. When you will be suffering from the troubles of the world, when you have all the troubles of the world, I will bring you happiness. Hope said that I will bring happiness to you. मैं आपको खुशी दूंगी जब आप बहुत प्रॉब्लम में होंगे, इतनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आपके अराउंड हो, लेकिन फिर भी I will be there to give you happiness. Hope said that. By now, the tiny creatures had finished biting Pandora and had flown out of the window to bring troubles to other people. So by now, what has happened? All the creatures, all the troubles which were flowing out of the box, they had finished. उन्होंने पेंडोरा को already bite कर दिया था. मतलब पेंडोरा की लाइफ में already problems आ गई थी सारी, and they flew out of the window to give troubles to other people. So all the problems वो बाहर चली गई ताकि वो दूसरे लोगों को ट्रबल दे सके, दूसरे लोगों को मुसीबत दे सके. How the Jews had packed the box? Jews had packed the box with all the problems of the world. What was the shape of the problems? How was the shape of the problems? How did problems look like? They had the shape of ugly creatures that flew out of the box. What did Pandora heard in the box? She heard a tiny little voice inside the box. Pandora heard a tiny little soft voice inside the box. Who was biting Pandora and where he had flown out? So the creatures, all the problems of the world, they were biting Pandora and they had flown out to bite other people and to give troubles and to give problems to other people. पहले तो उन्होंने पेंडोरा को बाइट किया सारी प्रॉब्लम से, मतलब सारी प्रॉब्लम जो थी पेंडोरा की लाइफ में आ गई। अब वो उड़ के दूसरे लोगों के पास चली गई ताकि उनको भी वो बाइट कर सके, उनको भी वो प्रॉब्लम दे सके। Pandora opened the box and out flew a tiny winged creature. So, when all the problems flew out of the window, a tiny little creature, एक छोटा सा creature, it came out of the box. Its rainbow colored wings were transparent and colorful. So how was this creature? How was this small tiny little looking creature? It had very rainbow colored wings. उसके इंद्रधनुष जैसे कलर जैसे उसके पंख थे, and it was very colorful and transparent. It flapped its multicolored wings and sat gently on painful bites. So उसने अपने पंख उड़ाए, अपने multicolored पंख उड़ाए, multicolored मतलब बहुत रंग बिरंगे जो पंख थे, उसने उड़ाए अपने पंख, and it sat gently on painful bites. And उसने क्या किया? पेंडोरा को इतनी सारी problems ने जो bite कर दिया था, it sat on that, it's the creature, it sat on those bites and took away Pandora's pain. और पेंडोरा का जो दर्द हो रहा था, इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स ने उसको बाइट किया था, इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स उसकी लाइफ में आ गई थी, सो इट द टाइनी लुकिंग क्रिएचर, जो छोटा सा क्रिएचर था विद मल्टी कलर्ड विंग्स, इट टुक अवे पेंडोरा's पेन, उसने पेंडोरा की सारे दर्द को कम कर दिया। एंड दैट इज व्हाट हैपेंस इन द वर्ल्ड टुडे, एंड ये आज भी दुनिया में यही हो रहा है। Today also what happens with us? Whenever there is a pain or sadness, whenever someone is facing trouble, whenever someone is in pain or is in sadness, जब कोई भी किसी दर्द में होता है, दुख में होता है, तब क्या होता है? There is always hope that it will go away and we can be happy again. तो हमेशा आपके पास होप होती है, हमेशा आपके पास उम्मीद होती है कि ये सारी जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, they will go away and you will be happy again. Okay, so you have troubles, whenever you have pain or sadness in your life, but you have always hope, आपके पास हमेशा एक उम्मीद होती है छोटी सी कि ये सारी troubles जो है they will end one day and you will be happy again. Okay, जो सिमिलरली पैंडोरास बॉक्स में क्या हुआ, इसके बॉक्स के अंदर सारी जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं आती गई आती गई आती गई, और लास्ट में क्या आई? एक छोटा सा क्रीचर आया, होप आई, एंड इट मेड पेंडोरा हैप्पी अगेन। उसने फिर से पेंडोरा को हैप्पी कर दिया। इन सारी ट्रबल्स ने तो उसको बाइट कर दिया, उसको पेन दिया बहुत सारा, बट जो बाद में लास्ट में जो छोटा सा क्रीचर आया, विच वॉज होप, उम्मीद जो आई, उसने पेंडोरा को हैप्पी कर दिया। हमारी लाइफ में भी जब बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है, एक के बाद एक प्रॉब्लम्स आती जाती है आती जाती है आती जाती है, बट देर इज ऑलवेज होप, हमेशा एक उम्मीद रहती है कि ये सारी जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं ये चली जाएंगी और हम हमेशा से वापस पहले की तरह हैप्पी हो जाएंगे। This is just a story, but it brings with us a lesson and also hope. So this lesson, this story tells us about hope. हमेशा उम्मीद होती है। What happened when Pandora opened the box? As soon as Pandora opened the box, the tiny creatures came out of the box and they started biting Pandora. Describe the creature. How was that tiny creature? It had tiny winged creature. It had rainbow colored wings which were transparent and colorful. So hope कैसा दिखता था? It had उसके rainbow color के wings थे. It was transparent and colorful. What happened when there is pain or sadness? So whenever you have pain or sadness, there is always hope that it will go away and we will be happy again. Who took out Pandora's pain? The hope, the creature, it took out Pandora's pain.